Okay, are we good now? I'm streaming. It's definitely public. Oh, aha! We're alive, we're alive. I've had it on public for a while now, but it's just gone, so I don't know why it wasn't initially. I'm also going, yeah. Finally! Okay, where are we? How much is left? I can't see because there's yellow flags. Let's get all the track settings done. Yes, full track map. Let's nix the details. Not much of a delay, which is good. Spectator menus glitch, but it doesn't matter because I'll be turning it off now. Well, there might have been a bit of a obstruction of a lap there by the Mercedes, but hopefully not. With 8 minutes to go, we have Phosphor in first. The only one to break in the 115s. Ryan Newton in second, as there's a spin for Phosphor. Not sure if he's on a lap or whether he is on an in or out lap. Here was a Ryan in second. Cloisy in the Alpine in fourth. Sneck in fifth. Cloisy in third. Sneck, who is on an invalid lap and is without a wing, in fifth. Fadl is sixth. Mackie, then Alfie, then Resching, then Ivanek rounds out the top 10, but he seems to be on a lap, so we'll stay with him. Yes, through the chicane, using all the curve on the exit. Now into turn whatever it is, I don't know the corner names or corner numbers. Ryan Newton has gone faster than Phosphor with 115.8 in the Alfa Romeo, so it's a 1-3 for Alpha at the moment. We've got some, I reckon the guys down the bottom are yet to do an unobstructed lap. Maybe they had mistakes on the lap, because I would expect there to be less than 2 seconds gap in one tier. As Ivanek is about to come around the final corner, and he goes P7. Very good from him. I believe he won in it was Zed who was about to win in Spa and get driver of the day, but he spun. But Ivanek was my driver of the day in Spa, kept his nose clean, gained loads of positions. Job done for him. So hopefully he may replicate that in Hungary, but it might be a harder job in Hungary considering how league races in Hungary normally go. Who is on a lap? Everyone's in the pits, in the kind of lull that you get in qualifying before everybody goes out on their final run. This doesn't look like a flying lap. Don't think that is either. Alright, I think this is just the people going into the pits. Vanek we just saw do a lap. Resching, that looks like a cool down lap to me. Ghosty is coming into the pits. Camelon's also coming into the pits. Snapestar might be coming into the pits, but I don't think we've been watching him, so I don't know whether he is in sync with the rest of the thing. He is carrying on, and the time it looks like he might be improving on his time. He does by 8/10, but it's just not enough to get himself out of P17. We have 17 drivers today, so quite a full grid, which could be dangerous. Who is out on laps? Who is out on laps? He certainly looks like he's about to start one. I think this is my first time commentating a race that this player has participated in. I'm going to decide on the pronunciation of Kvardol for the purposes of this race, but do correct me if that's wrong in the chat. Not that I will see the chat because I've only got one screen. Using even some of the grass on the second straight, which I feel like could only be bad for his straight line speed, but it's what he's chosen to do. All keeping it clean through turn 4. Not using as much of the curve as maybe some would at turn 5, but he's kept it safe, which is more than can be said of half the laps that have ever been done around that corner. Taking a lot of curve in the chicanes, using every bit of outside curve on that corner, which seems to be the norm. There is a Mercedes going slow, so might have to get out the way of this Ferrari. Hopefully he'll do that without issue, which he does. Nice. The Ferrari's 2/10 up, with a bit of a lock up into that corner, so it'll be close whether he can improve. We never saw his first lap, so we don't know how good the third sector was in it. Has not really hit any foot. I see it is. He is pitting. I don't know why he's pitting. The lap was valid. He was 2/10 up. Maybe he knows he can get more out of it and is just trying to sneak in one more run. Alright, who else? We have Phosphor on his own lap. Topping out at 304 kilometers an hour. This is a very downforce heavy track. You might honestly be running 50-50 wings. I don't know if it's as extreme as Monaco or Singapore though. Going quite wide into turn 2 might not be ideal. Slams the inside curb on turn 3, so he's taking a tighter line to make up for the wider one he took into turn 2. Using more curb than the last guy we spectated on turn 4, but he's a 10th up on his own lap. So his lap has not been going too well for him, using all the outside curb on the exit of the death curb, as he has ruined the lap. That's rather ruined his lap. So I reckon that'll be it for him. He will crawl back to the pits and then retire from the session. That Red Bull might be on a lap. Don't think he is though. I think Mackie is on a lap, judging by how he's attacking that. Yep, he's a 10th up. Bit of a snap out in the exit of that corner, but he's got away with it. Not using any curb, unlike the last driver we spectated, but taking a lot of inside curb at the chicane. Using all the outside curb there, like we've seen everyone doing. That seems to be the optimal line. He shouldn't have any problems with people having to let him through with this McLaren, because this McLaren will be getting out of the way on the straight, or maybe not. He's purple in the second sector. That McLaren might have distracted him a little bit on the apex, but he seems to have done quite well there. If that was a genuine purple sector, he might be in contention for it, or it might have been the snap at turn 4 that ruined it for him. It is 4th. Maybe he is running a particularly high downforce setup and was able to maximise that in the second sector. We've got a Mercedes retired on the home straight. So that's going to cause yellow flags and maybe a bit of a distraction, but it's not in a braking zone or anything, so it might be fine. Let's watch Antec completing his lap. Actually, nope, that's definitely not a lap time. Maybe that was an in-lap, or he messed up his flying lap and his saving tyres. Let's see who is out on lap. We'll stay with Ghosty, not seen him yet. Snape Star has retired at the exit of the chicane. It seems like he's got a bit too early on the traction and has hit the wall, judging by where his car is stationary on the minimap. So he will stay last with a 117.894. As Ghosty is coming around the corner. Let's see what he can do. Might have been a bit of oversteer that he had to catch there. But he's going to improve, but he's not going to improve his position. Yes, Ryan is coming around the final corner now. He is up on his lap. This could be into the 1:15.6 or 5s. It's a 1:15.520. It might prove hard to beat. But we have the other Alpha coming round, who is 3/10 up on his lap, so this could challenge the McLaren in second. It's going to be a 1:15.9, so Phosphor's second place is all but secure. But he could improve. I didn't catch the delta there, so I don't know how far up he is on his lap. He's going into the pits. That answers that question. As we see, most people are finishing now, but Reshing, oh, it looked like he was going into the pits there. He might have. Don't know if that was lag or if he decided against that, but Ivanek is definitely still on a lap. 13, 14, 15, 16. He's 3/10 down. As we're just waiting for Phosphor to get fully in the garage. And that will be the end of qualifying. It's an Alfa Romeo 1-3, McLaren 2-6. Phosphor splitting the Alphas in second, but it is a convincing pole for the Alpha with a 1:15.5, which was, I believe, nearly 4/10 faster than the rest. I hope my mic is alright. I'm here to check. I was just happy that the stream was finally up. Yes, full track man. Yeah, mic is definitely fine. Could even turn my in-game noise a bit up. Although I am hearing some static from my mic. Alright, as everyone gets a breather. Maybe a toilet break, maybe a food break, drink break, water break, before the big event starts. Someone has readied up. And what is going on with the mechanics? Are they standing inside each other in the garage? That is some strange things going on with the mechanics, but what less would we expect from Cody's? I'm going to turn my game audio up so that you can hear the engines, and it might muffle the static from my mic a bit. Alright, no formation lap, and we're off for the... There's a bit of lag there with the game putting the leaderboard up, but the McLaren's got a better start than Newton. Into turn 1, and unless Ryan Newton can get more grip around the outside, it will be the McLaren leading. Out of turn 1 it is. As we'll go on board with Sneck, who's in third. Actually now it's just... Oh, there's some almost contact. Cloysy's going to take advantage of that and get ahead of Noodles into P5. No crashes, I don't think. On turn 1 yet. Everybody is still going along the minimap at normal speed. There may have been some snapped wings, but that will only become evident when some people may pit after lap 1. As everyone seems to have, miraculously for Hungary, made it through relatively cleanly. I really... Commentator's curse, as the Williams of Pietrek has spun and is now down in 17th place, but McLaren is solidifying his lead with the purple second sector as Pietrek has retired already. And that marks my first commentator's curse, as we have a safety car for the retired Williams of Pietrek. I was just saying how much of a surprise it is that there have been no crashes on lap 1 in Hungary. And then, lo and behold, we couldn't be that lucky. So let's have a look at the positions gained and lost. Position change. Phosphor up 1, Ryan Newton down 1 as we saw. Phosphor got ahead before the braking zone at turn 1. Sneck is the biggest gainer in the top 10. He has gained 3 positions. So it's gone from a 2.6 to a 1.3. Both McLarens have half their position in the first lap. Cloysy is up 1 after he got past Noodles at turn 2. Mackie is also down 2, so I can only assume that either Sneck got a fantastic start, or otherwise in 3rd and 4th got relatively poor ones. And nobody pitted on lap 1 under the safety car, I don't believe. I'll just confirm that with stops. Yeah, nobody's had any stops yet. Matusiak, Ivanek and Resching are all up 1. I think that's as a result of the spin with Pietrek. Kvardal is down, actually that'll be why. Kvardal is down 3. Snapestar up from last to 11th. That's a sterling start for him. Antec, Ghosty and Camelon's up 1 as a result of Pietrix DNF. Alfie down 3. Laggy Racer has maintained position, but said position is now last after Pietrix retirement. That's an idea. You should be able to. Oh, there's Alfie's ghosting, so he might be disconnected a bit or lagging. You should be able to ride on board with the safety car in spectator mode. I've just thought of that. Because that would be a lot cleaner of a camera angle because they're not constantly weaving around in the safety car. What tyres is everyone on? Oh, how do I see that? Tyre. So Alfie is on the softs, the only one to do so in P15. Not sure what the motive is there. They have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 6-9 split between 6 people on the hards and 9 people on the mediums. I would have started on the hards if I were one of these drivers. Because in the event of like a lap 1 safety car, this isn't really one of the tracks where you can pit lap 1 and do a whole race on hards. Well, you probably could, but it wouldn't be beneficial, so I would have started on hards anyway. As the safety car is indeed in this lap, because the incident is clear. And when is Fossifer going to go? I like to play along with this when I'm not in the car myself and try and say go when I think he's going to go, so I'm going to, or well, to see how well I would have reacted. So let's sit on board with Ryan Newton and see how well we all do. Go! Oh, I was good that time. I was very good that time. As Fossifer has gone way over to the other side of the track and is therefore giving a slipstream to his teammate, who is going to make the move on Ryan Newton into turn 1. Successfully done so, so it's now McLaren 1-2. This is a dream start for the McLaren team. We also have Ivanek and Matusiak going side by side into turn 2. All kept clean there. Might be seeing a move between Antec, and just with the exit he got out of turn 2. As there's I think there was contact there between him and the Alpine, but everyone seems to have got out unscathed. Maybe there's a bit of broken wing for the Alpine. As there's another move into the chicane, and no contact this time, unlike on lap 1. Everyone has returned to single file now. Fossifer has gapped his teammate by 1.4 seconds, so no interest in giving a tow to his teammate, which might leave said teammate vulnerable to Ryan Newton's attack on the first straight this time. I'll keep my eyes open for battles behind. But for now, the eyes are on the battle for P2. And I'm like for a second, already 1.8 between Fossifer and Sneck, so if he continues like this, Fossifer is looking very likely to win this race, as Ryan Newton tries to go around the outside at turn 1 of Sneck. Is unsuccessful, so he'll have to wait for turn 2. There are sparks coming off of Sneck's McLaren as he moves late on the straight. There's contact on the straight as Sneck is forced wide, and that will allow Cloisy to get involved too. He took advantage of some contact at turn 2 on lap 1. He might do that again now that they're going to stay single file into turn 4. Just waiting on somebody having that awful spin that everybody who's played the game has had at turn 4, but everyone has survived it for this lap. As Cloisy is still ahead of Noodle. I thought he got past Knight for a second, but I remembered that he had made the move on lap 1 on Noodles. There's some stuff going on between Ghosty and Camelons. I have no idea of what kind of stuff, but Camelon seems to be losing time, so maybe he's got rear wing damage or something. That's why Laggy Racer makes a very late move and he's now getting attacked by a ghost car, so I think Alfie is being controlled by the human. But Ryan Newton has set the fastest lap of the race, so he has gained on Fossa for that lap. Not sure how that's possible. Oh, maybe it's because they have, because he had more time fully on the power, so before the restart, before they cross the line. But the gap is 2.0. Sneck is staying relatively close to the back, but I think he's probably going to be more worried about Cloisy behind him now. The field seems to be spreading out, so I'm going to be watching the mini-map probably for the rest of this race. We'll follow the leader at the moment just to watch the man who is probably the fastest on the circuit now taking his car around Hungary. Watching at the chicane for any cars becoming stationary after the Devil's traction loss, as I call it, out of the chicane. Everyone's kept it pretty clean except for, as I say that, that's commentator's Gus again, as Antec gets a penalty already for some warnings. Let's have a revised look at the positions gained and lost. That's definitely not the right way to do it. Ryan Newton sets fastest lap again. I may have been wrong when I said Foster was the fastest man on the track. I'll get on board with Ryan Newton then. Penalty, so Antec is the only one with a penalty. Position change. Yeah, so Sneck is the biggest gainer along the top block still, since there are no moves at the start from anybody, at the restart from anybody. Yep, so let's check the detail off, and remain with just the gaps between the cars and the next car in front of it. Ryan Newton has caught up by about half a second from the last time we had a good look at the gap. Cloisy is right on the back of Sneck, so we might see three different teams on the podium after it is looking like a 1-2 for McLaren. Sneck might have got on the AstroTurf a little bit into the second last corner. This might allow Cloisy to line up something on him. Besides that, does Ryan Newton have DRS? Not yet, but we're going to keep our eyes on this battle, as Cloisy is going to go up the inside and I believe make it stick. Sneck might be coming back actually, as there's contact on this straight again between two people. I think Cloisy is really having eventful second straights and turn twos here. Might be going for it again at the turn 4, that would be very risky. He's not going to. That speed is just so dangerous now. Ryan Newton will definitely be in the DRS as there is a spin for Ghosty. Must have just done an Ericsson out of that corner as he is spun again on hot tyres. Hot tyres made me retire in the pits one time at Hungary. That's actually the only time I have retired in the pits without rear wing damage. It's hot tyres at Hungary as he spun again. This is why you put your tyres pressures low, people. I'll be going back. I wonder if he'll. What's the chance he spins at the hairpin? I'll be going back to the front battles obviously soon, but he's can't spin at the hairpin if you don't even take the. Or I mean chicane. Can't spin at the chicane if you don't take the chicane. It doesn't look like Ryan Newton is close enough to make the move this lap. But it might look like Cloisy is close enough. No, not quite yet. Ghosty has spun again. This is just a demonstration of how bad hot tyres are at Hungary. As there is a spin out as turn 2 for Quado in the Ferrari. As he's down to 13th now, after being passed by Snapestar and Laggy Racer. Snapestar is having a good race from last on the grid. He's going to spin up the entry, isn't he? Taking it nice and slowly, that's a wise thing to do, right? So he'll be desperate to get off of those tyres. Okay, back to the front. As the gap is closer than it ever has been, Ghosty is retired. Oh, he's retired in the pits. Come on, man! You don't retire in the pits after just getting hot tires. I know I'm being a bit of a hypocrite here, but it's lap 9. Anything could happen then. There's another yellow flag for. Oh, it's just Ghosty's car retiring. Ryan will have DRS. But I doubt that he'll be truly close enough to really have any effect on this. We might have the retiring car of the AlphaTauri to deal with into this next section. What's he doing? I mean, he did the right thing by retiring in the pits instead of on track, but how is his car going to affect other people now? It's not. It's luckily not caused any. Well, his Lucky Racer is going wide for whatever reason. Oh, it's because he had an Alpine on his inside. Didn't see that. So there's a nice little scrap developing between these two. Millimeters apart. I doubt there'll be any music at turn 4, but that was a very fun little scrap we just had between the Alpine, the Snake Star, then Quardo and Lucky Racer behind him. Back to the front, and the closest battle on the track, except that one at the back that we were just watching. Out of the 15 drivers that remain, it's between the front two, Bossifer and Ryan Newton. Bossifer is on the mediums, Ryan Newton is on the hards, just noticed that, so then maybe that will play a part in Bossifer's ability to get just far enough ahead in this last sector. Gives to KT his left session as Fargo makes the move on Snape starting in the third last corner. If Bossifer can just keep using his ERS in the third sector, he may be able to get far enough ahead that Ryan Newton just can't make the move. No real advances on Sneck in third. He's still got Bloisy in fourth, Mackie in fifth, and Noodles in sixth, making a bit of a DRS train, which Ivanek will be looking to get involved in. We've got more action at turn 1 between these three. This is fun. I don't think it will be carrying on into turn 3 this time, but you never know. Could be a loss of traction somewhere. Alfie, I think he's being driven by a computer now. It looked like he was being driven himself for a while, but that definitely looks like an AI with how the steering wheel is. Right, before you know it, we're back at the start with Bossifer and Ryan Newton. No moves between the back lot, or the chasing pack, as they would say in a cycling race. We're going to be watching to see if Ryan Newton can make the move into turn 1. Laggy Racer has a 3-second time penalty among his battle with the Alpine and the Ferrari. The camera angle teased us, but that's not going to be a move to the corner. There might be a move between Cloisy and Sneck. Sneck defends the inside, which seems to be the thing to do at turn 1. Cloisy might go for a switch back though and make the move at turn 2, which is where his whole race has been happening. Nope, staying in formation for this lap. We're already 1/3 distance, and I didn't even notice because this race has been very entertaining for a Hungary League race. Normally it's just safety car, safety car, safety car, but there's been some good action here. I'm going to go on board with Mackie. We've not really mentioned Mackie a lot, even though he is driving a good race in P5, so let's watch him until we inevitably have to go back to the battle at the front. It's frustrating and motivating at the same time when you can't really catch up to a DRS train in front of you, but in the front of said DRS train we have Bloisy going for it on Sneck into the third last corner. And I don't want to exit this battle. We're going to have to leave it as late as possible to see if there's any moves in the last corner, or the first corner, as Cloisy is now ahead, but who has the DRS? It is going to have to get back on Ryan Newton, who doesn't make the move. But Sneck will now be coming back at Cloisy. I think it might have been unwise to not be very patient by a Sneck. There might have been contact, but either way Sneck has lost the rear, and we might be 3 wide into turn 2, almost 3 wide into turn 2, as Mackie, who we watched go through sector 2, makes the move up into 4th, and Sneck has lost 2 positions in one sector. Noodles will now be looking to capitalise on his loss of momentum. As I'm loving this. VRL, I hope you're watching. This is how you do it in Hungary. So we've got Laggy Racer and Snape Star still relatively close together in the battle for P12, as Kvardal has pulled away from the trio he was once in. We though have Ryan, Newton and Phosphor 1 and 2 yet again going into the last corner. Gap is 5/10, but Phosphor just seems to pull away in the last sector, so maybe Ryan Newton's running a low and down force setup thinking it would help him on the straights, but it's actually been hampering him in the sectors leading up to the straights. I do wonder why he's just not been able to catch up those final few tenths that he needs to really make the move, as there is a spin for Matusiak. It's dropped him down to 10th, as Phosphor stays in first. The others have stayed in their formation. No move from Noodles like I was anticipating after Sneck's loss of momentum last lap when he lost 2 positions and went from 3rd to 5th. We've also got Laggy Racer and Snake Star still giving each other hassle. No moves there. I feel like we might see a move from Mackie for 3rd, because it's looked like he's upped his pace a bit after he got this confidence boost from moving up into 4th. No move into there. I thought he might have more of an advantage, but we're going to have to wait until the home straight, which seems to be the wise thing to do. But as Camelons gets a penalty from last, we have the every lap battle between Ryan Newton. I almost said John Newton there. Phosphor and Ryan Newton. Definitely not John Newton. Phosphor is still in the lead. But Ryan Newton looked a bit closer on that straight. Maybe it was just the camera angle, but it looks like he's edging closer, as Phosphor seems to be saving ERS. Maybe that's why Ryan Newton Ryan Newton has been able to get closer on this lap. The gap's now 4 to 3/10. No changes in positions this lap in the chasing 4. Ivanek is kind of just rounding up the rest of the rest and dragging Reshing with him in his DRS. Not really able to join the DRS train of those in front of him. Guess who it is again at the turns 1 and 2, as we're about to see. Phosphor and Ryan Newton. Once again, as we hit not half distance, it's 35 laps, not 30. My numeracy is just not on point today, it seems. So we've got Sneck pitting from the medium tyres, going before his teammate, which is an interesting choice for McLaren if they had planned that in any way, which I doubt they would have, because team orders don't really exist in league races unless there's a championship on the line. Lead stays with Phosphor for another lap, and he will definitely be feeling the pressure. He's got the gap out to 7 or 8 tenths, so maybe he's used some of that ERS that he had previously saved when we saw his light flashing. Now 7.3 seconds back to Cloisy, so it's clear who first and second are going to be, assuming that nothing, I don't want to say bad, that's not a very good word. Nothing untoward, yeah, that's a big brain word. Nothing untoward happens to the top 2. By the time I finish that sentence, the gap has extended by another 2 tenths, so we'll see if Phosphor will pit this lap. He does not. Oh, he's on the hard tyres, that's why. So I must have missaw when I thought he was on the medium tyres a while ago. We've got the two medium runners of Cloisy and Mackie in the pits. We'll see the pit stop battle between them. Ooh, as Mackie nearly runs into the back of Cloisy. This has promoted Ivanek and Noodles to net 4th and 3rd respectively. No changes in the pit stops there, both players must have pressed A at a good time. We also have Antec pitting. He is less relevant to the battle at the front. So I wonder when the hard runners are going to pit. That's now the question, because we've seen when the medium runners will pit. Are there any medium runners still left to stop? Tyre. Yes, Reshing is on the medium. Laggy Racer, Snape Star and Alfie are on the mediums. Alfie doesn't really count because the last I saw he was being driven by an AI. We'll see if that's changed. Noodles gets a 3-second time penalty, which might hamper his endeavours to get up the field into and maybe take a podium if he can overcut these guys. Sneck has stayed behind as there is a spin for Kvardal and he's out. Could that mean a safety car? It doesn't seem to have meant a safety car. That is lucky for the top two. As Reshing pits, this will be interesting to see exactly where will he come out. Actually no, he was yeah, Ivanek is whoever was on the hard. Wait a second. Did Kvardal retire on track? I think he might have. Maybe that's why there wasn't a safety car. Yeah, Kvardal's left the session now. I have totally lost track of who's pitted and who's not, and who's on the mediums and who's on the hards in the process. Laggy Racer and Snape Star have made up the most positions, 6 each at this point, as we are now over half distance. This race is flowing by, I have to say. Not often it gets a bit draggy around the around the 40% mark, but this is a very quick paced race. No breaks in close battles. Speaking of those, we've got the ever reoccurring one at the front between Ryan Newton and Fossifer. I'm going to turn my game audio up a little bit so you can hear the engines. When I checked last time it wasn't. I've already got it on 3. I'm not gonna risk putting it any higher because I don't want problems like the last time where you couldn't hear me. Fossifer is dealing well with the pressure, it has to be said. After having someone in your DRS pretty much every lap for a whole race, it does take its toll on you, but he's dealing with it exquisitely. Sneck is a 119.7, which is the fastest lap, so he's showing his pace as he tries to catch and overtake the guys who he failed to undercut. As Antec has got past Matusiak, and what is Matusiak doing? Oh, he's just come out the pits, that might be why. Let's guess who it is. It's these guys again. I wonder when two Noodles and Ivanek are going to pit. It looks like they will be behind Mackie and Snake, but that could change. Because you never know with undercuts and overcuts how things are going to exactly play out. We've got Ryan Newton just not really able to get close enough because he's been in the DRS. But he's not really been in the full slipstream of Fossifer for any of the 20 laps that we've had. We're now at 5/4/7 distance as there's a spin for Noodles. So if his penalty hadn't hampered him enough, he's now got no chance of getting a podium unless there is another safety car now, because he's down to 4th. Behind Ivanek, and that is definitely him not going to undercut. He's got hot tyres too, so this could be quite entertaining. I love watching drivers on hot tyres. Seems to have not been affected too much by them, but this corner is a nightmare on hot tyres. He's done it fine, so I think his tyres have not been so affected as I think it was the Ferraris were. Oh no, it was Ghosty, wasn't it? Before he retired. Well, we've now got... well, I was about to say we've got the battle for first. We don't have a battle for first because Fossifer is the first to pit from the hard tyres, which releases Ryan Newton into clear air, but it doesn't give him DRS. So I wonder how Ryan Newton is now going to fare having a clear track in front of him for the very first time this race. After he took pole and then was overtaken at the first corner, there was a safety car and he's really just not been able to get back. Fossifer, since Fossifer is out in clear air, he might catch Ivanek up. I think Ivanek was on the hards too, so Ivanek will be pitting soon, judging by how the McLaren has. Reshing sets the fastest lap on his new tyres. It's been an intriguing race. There's been only one safety car right at the start. There's been no absolutely crazy action. There's been no super unexpected results. But it's been chugging along nicely with action in most places. The gap's tripling between Fossifer and Ivanek, so that might hold him up a little bit on his new mediums. But shouldn't too much, as will Newton pit this lap? Yes, as Fossifer sets the purple second sector, he has got those tyres up to temperature. As we will now watch on board with Fossifer to see, as Ivanek pits too, if Ryan Newton will come out in front or behind of Fossifer. I think the answer is going to be in front at the moment. He sets a purple third sector too. Yeah, comfortably. The undercut has worked well, it wasn't really an undercut because he was in front anyway. Pitting the lap before has put, and as Camelons retires, there's a safety car! Who hasn't pitted? Ooh. A snake starting pit now under the delta, but it's not really going to help anyone. If that had happened a lap earlier, Fossifer would have been screwed. So that is rather jammy, but it means that everyone it's still a level playing field basically amongst the top lot, but there will now be the medium runners who have a great advantage on the restart from the not medium runners. And I am going to go and get myself a drink of water because my mouth has gone dry, as we have this little break in action by way of a safety car. I'm going to refresh to commentate these last, what will be 11 racing laps probably, if these guys can catch up to the safety car. So these are your bets on to win. My hunch is that, let's get the tyres up too, so get you guys. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Fostifer to second, Ryan finish first, Mackie third, Reshing fifth, Cloisy fourth. Mackie third, Reshing fourth, Cloisy fifth. Not because I think these guys are necessarily slower, but I just have a hunch that something is going to happen. Be it getting tagged, or I don't know, just having a little noise through it. This seems like it's the kind of due a lot of mistake. Because the top two are doing so perfectly, but it's the one under pressure who's more likely to make a mistake by logic. Go! That was quick reaction time from me, that's it. That's better than the first safety car. Stay on board with Cloisy. Right, you know, go for the move. Close to the race now. 4 tenths ahead, we've got moves between Reshing and Mackie. Just letting Cloisy get away in third as Reshing just, I mean, there's a corner there. I don't want to turn around it. There's he's down in 11th, but it's just that it couldn't really have gone much worse. It's been an awful turn 2 from Reshing. I don't know what he was thinking. He also caught the grass, but he just went straight. It's Laggy races up to 8th. Reshing is, oh no, there's been more contact at the chicane between Laggy racer and somebody. Probably Reshing and Mattie's in it, because those are the guys going everywhere all over the place on the position. Seeing, oh, there's another spin for Snape Star, who had been looking good since he started last, but he was up to that position and he kept in that position on speed for the whole race, but he's not down in the last. That's unfortunate for him. Of course, if he gets the fastest lap, but Ryan is back to his familiar position of 6 tenths behind him. Trying to pile on every Pascal of pressure that he can. I've forgotten what the unit of pressure is, so hopefully I made that correct guess. Physics in the back of the road, it's really good. We've got pretty congested battle for, I would say, 4th. Sneck has got a penalty, which there's not been many penalties this far, so I reckon penalties are going to play a big role for the guys who do have them at the end of the race, unless this gets a lot more gapped out than it currently is. We've got, oh no, we've got Ivanek going in for a move into a corner that you don't normally go for a move on. Sneck was not anticipating it, and we have a spin for Ivanek. That was unfortunate there, needs to be said. Ryan 4 tenths behind. He's closer than he normally was. There's an extra step after that safety car that saved him after basically managed to see the undercut. It might be close enough to make a dive, not so much in the eyes of me. I need to remember to check the spectator and every time chasing. TCM has got always might be going for a switch back on Antec. TCM stays ahead, switching on all that. Still got Foster in the lead. With every passing lap, and you see the finish line getting closer and closer, can you get the racing equivalent of summer fever where you get increasingly risky things just to get that one more position, especially when that position is the lead. be a pleasant surprise for Closey if these two could take each other out. And I don't see that happening. He'll quickly go back to the run for third. Might see a dive bomb from Mackie into this one. He's going to rise about it. So we have it even closer this time. Even closer is Ryan Newton to the back for Fossimo. Less than 3 tenths. Less than 3 tenths. Now he's going to go for it. There's a spin for Mackie out of the last corner, but we're going to see some actual battling between these two for the first time, I believe, since probably the first safety car restart. Foster just about stays ahead, but it's the first time that Ryan Newton has a proper go. He's had a proper go at the back of Foster. And it's into turn 1, which is the place where he's just not been able to get the move done. Where he's probably overtaken spot on the front. As there's a spin for Snet too. I would be going back and checking on all these spins, but we can't really move away from the first, second battle. Cloisey just needs to keep it on the road, and he's got a dead set second. As Noodles is spun too, it's a spin fest behind these two. I mean, the self-cleanliness and the lack of spins is just gone straight out the window after this restart, and that's what he said. I don't know how many warnings these guys are on, so it could be that Ryan Newton is having to be more careful because he knows he's in 2 warnings. It could be the other way around. You just don't know until the penalty pops up on the screen. This is another spin for Noodles. Hot tyres after one spin can really ruin your day around this track. See maybe another move from Ryan Newton. This time he's going for the inside. He's made Foster break a bit later. Foster is going to keep the position again, which is great defence. Foster, but he does appear to be running out of ERS. We'll try and see if I can see the back of Ryan Newton's car. He's also struggling for ERS. They are both using all of their ERS. They'll go for the move in this corner. You know they can get close in the first corner now, especially because he's seeing that flashing red light on Foster's car. So that will give him confidence that he can't just wait for turn 1 and really put down and make it stick. He's a bit wide into that corner though. That's what he said. There's another stick for the van. Then there's I saw the orange car in the pit lane and I thought that was the safety car. There was a VSC. Not a full safety car, but a VSC. With the deltas, it seems like Ryan Newton has been dropped out of the second barrier, so he might have been robbed by the BSC here. Kind of odd. The gap was definitely less than a second, but virtual safety car delta disagrees with that for whatever reason. So glitchy BSC deltas might have just kind of ruined this race. KCX got a drive-through for speed with the VSC, so that's not good for me. We've got Ivanek pitting. Oh, we've got a race on the way again. He's back down to 9 tenths. But I think he might have been screwed over by the virtual safety car. I was not too sure on that, but I didn't pay attention to exactly what the gap was at the moment of the VSC yet. Oh, Noodles, he's in the pit, he's retiring in the pits. I thought that was a crash for Noodles, but he is retiring in the pits, so there will be no safety car for his retirement. Yeah, I mean, there's 12 people left. I would just finish the race, and you might well get a point at this point. Ryan Newton has got the gap back down to half a second, even if he did get messed up by the virtual safety car delta, the gap is back down to almost what it was. Ryan Newton might be looking to have a go again. Possibly will have the ERS that he was able to say. No, he doesn't, because the red light is flashing on his car. Newton goes to the outside, might go for a switchback this time. There's a bit of loss of traction there. Possible keeps the lead once again. This is fantastic, I must say. driver of the day is definitely between these two. I need to know what kind of pace round in kind of previous races to decide if it would be on pace or Phosphor is worth driver of the day. But the defence, the subtle but effective defence of guarding the inside has been working wonders for Phosphor. If he had just held it, and if he had just held his line, guaranteed he would have passed by now. He's staying on this rather riveting battle for first and second. As we enter the final 4 racing laps as we cross the line in this lap. Really go for it in this corner now, but he has put Phosphor offline. And Tech gets another penalty. I'll change the detail to see the okay, so Patricia penalties drive through, so yeah, this is a second stone third for Fozzy if he can keep it clean. To see Roland dive it. He's going around the outside this time. He's going to try and hang it around the outside instead of going for a switch back. It's close going into turn 2 again. He might dive it into turn 2. He's going to try the outside at turn 2. We'll try and switch back into 3. It's really exciting. Sneck is retired on track. Come on lad, don't be down on track. This is a bit of a there's a bit of a loss of loss of grip at the turn 4. That could have ended very badly for Ryan as he's on the curve. Maybe sense a bit of desperation as I get a Discord ping that I'm desperate to check because it could be someone telling me something about the stream. But I also don't want to take my eyes on this battle. Nah, it's just Geo English telling me he's going to streak because he's back to it. I had a Discord ping at the same time. What is going on? Checking on my phone. No, it's not. No, it's a different time. Right, back to it. We've got less than half a second between these guys. The gap's a little bit bigger than it was last time. We need the ERS in these guys. All telemetry enabled. There's a yellow flag for laggy racer spinning. There's not a DNF as far as I can see, so there will be no virtual safety car. Matusiak has served his drive through. Will now be behind Alfie. So that's down to 7th for him. Alfie has a solid 5th place in the bag if he can keep it on the road because of Antec's penalties. Which after being controlled by an AI for half of this is pretty good. In all of this first and second battling, it's just come to my attention that we only have 11 people left. So in this seemingly clean race, there's been quite a lot of DNFs actually. 6 of them. Alright. Gap, as it often has been, is 4 tenths between Ryan Newman and Phosphor. Phosphor's got a good exit, Gap up to 5 tenths. It's the penultimate lap of the race now. Ryan Newman will only have realistically 2 chances. This is one of them. Matusiak gets another 3-second time penalty. See that he will die and he might. What I fear is that on the last lap he will just get too desperate and go for it. I think he's been pretty composed with his moves so far though, so I wouldn't see that happening. I'm expecting a clean battle if there is one on the last lap. So unique first sector for Ryan. Chicane for the penultimate time, don't take too much care. It looked like Phosphor went a bit wide into the first part, it looked like Ryan went a bit wide into the second part. There's nothing to separate these two, except for 5 tenths. But 5 tenths is what has separated them for about 95% of this race. You could say that Newton has somewhat been saved by the safety car because undercut worked for Phosphor. But realistically, whoever wins this race will have deserved it. Either Phosphor for his defence or Ryan Newton for his relentless pressure that he's been putting on Phosphor the whole race. Is he going to be close enough to go for it? He's going to go around the outside. And we're seeing a last lap battle for the lead in PC F2. Let's go for it on the inside into turn 2. He's not gone for it, but he's forced Phosphor a bit wide. This has been riveting all the way through. He's got, it might have been a 1 in there. 2% of ERS, how much left has Phosphor got? He's also got 2%, they have no ERS. Don't go for it in the chicane, do not go for it in the chicane. If you're going to go for it anywhere, do it in the third last corner. Why use ERS there, lad? Phosphor does defend the inside at the scraper, so he's probably just defending any move that could possibly come out of Phosphor. The last realistic overtaking opportunity is going to come up right now. It's a penalty! It is a penalty for Ryan Newton, and that has decided the race. I reckon he might have had the chance to go for it, but it is now pointless because he has a 3-second penalty. And Phosphor, after some absolutely incredible defence, every time he's been asked to do it, is going to win the Hungary. From Ryan in second, Loisy is going to get a comfortable podium in third. Nagy Racer gets another penalty, which will drop him out of the points. Reshing is going to get fourth. Antec is going to get fifth on track, but I reckon Alfie is going to overtake him on penalties. Artusiak would overtake him on penalties, but he has his own 3 seconds, so that won't be happening. Mackie is going to be 8th. Snake Star, who started P17, is going to be 9th. Nagy Racer's 10th on track, but will take 10th. Ivanek will take 10th because of penalties. I'm pretty exhausted after that. Snake Star gets driving the race again because he made up those positions. Well, I don't know about you, but I've been thoroughly entertained by that. I will see you all next week. There is your final order. I'll get a screenshot of that. Yeah, fantastic race for everyone. Great cleanliness except when it came to spinning on your own. And I will be off.